Hello everyone, and today we're going to be going through an introduction to Smart Suite. This is for people that have either upgraded or converted to the Smart Suite system. And so we're going to be dealing with the basics. You can go for more advanced topics by going to our YouTube channel and either looking them up or asking for help to have other YouTube videos on more specific items. Now, there's two ways to log into the system. You get one URL, which is your school name .functional solutions. And when you log in, you can go straight to the search page where all your resources are. And the other option is to go into a particular homepage that is full of widgets, so you can tailor, you can put a picture of your school, what's new, you can have a rotating carousel of books, you can do all those things. Personally, I don't advocate it, and the reason for that is you'll have a competitor tell you, this can be a really pretty page and you can add all this information on it, and my response to that is, well, tell me how come the Google search page has become so popular right around the world, so much so that yahoo.com disappeared overnight and it was full of rubbish on its page. Yes, they were all important, but when I go to a system, I want specifically what I want. And so Yahoo disappeared overnight and Google came in its place because Google gave you what was current at the time when you searched for anything that you liked. So you can give that URL to all your students, which is school name .functional solutions. You can give them to all your students, to your parents in an email address, you can put on the World Wide Web, and it will promote your school. However, when people go there, it'll always present up in this column what's the latest, what's new. If you've added 5 new books, then that will shuffle down 5. If you added 22 new books, it'll shuffle down 22. And when you click that and you scroll it down here, what you'll find, it'll load the next oldest. And then you scroll that down, the next oldest and the next oldest. And if you keep going, eventually you're going to get to the very first book that was ever added to your collection. So what we're doing is, without you doing anything, we're promoting to your community that here's what's new. Of course, they can do a search. They can go and search for anything along here. And unlike all our competitors, where when you do a search of cat, it says, give me all the books that have cat somewhere in it, sorted alphabetically by call number, within call number, do it by title, or do it by author, and then within author, do it by title. Totally nonsensical way to search, because the reason why Google became so powerfully embraced by the global community, because in Google, when I search for maths, I don't get out of the billions, out of the, there's your numbers there. I don't get out of all those results something in an alphabetic sequence based on either the author's name or the subject or the series or whatever. I get what's relevant. And that's why very rarely when anyone does a Google search do they actually go past the first page. How many times have you gone and say, oh, let's go to the 10th page, oh, and let's go to the next 10 pages, or go to the the 14th page or whatever? You don't do that because you just know that what was put onto the system when you first went in and did a search, what was most relevant. Okay, and that's why Google became so popular. So whenever you're doing a search in Google, you do a search for maths, you get what's relevant on the front. Exactly the same with Smart Suite, the only library system that does a relevancy search that we're aware of. So when you go and do a search of cat in this case, or let me just go and do a search of maths. Okay, now when we do a search of maths, we're not doing a search of anything that has the word maths somewhere in its bibliography. We give you what's relevant, and you can scroll down and scroll down and scroll down. Now the thing is, you can say, yes, but I'm a librarian and I know my collection. and I don't want everything in relevancy. I want it according to subject. So anything that has the word maths in the subject. So you can put a tick into the subjects and then do a search. And that will do a totally different search because you've already now predefined. I want anything, any resource that has the word maths in it. And then within that, it'll come out with another sort criteria. However, let's say for argument's sake, you want to be a lot more specific. You just don't want maths. So you can go to the advanced search button and you can say with subject equal to maths and with author equal to so-and-so and with media type equal to videos and so you can do any kind of convoluted search you want without even knowing Boolean searching. So we've removed the word Boolean because people are not Boolean searchers. They just know where they want their search to concentrate on. And how about this? Let's say a teacher comes to you and says, can you send me all the maths resources we've got that are current? So you can do a subject search and then you can go, all right, so here's my resources, validated by checking on that. Okay, load more resources here. So these are all the books that had maths in the subject area. If I go in and I say, no, I don't want subject, I want anything with the word maths in it. Okay, and someone's asked you, say, look, anything, any resource at all, if it's got maths in it, I'm interested. Can you get it for me? So choose the kind of search you want and then go external link. So powerful. And what the external link does, it copies a URL to your keyboard into your memory. Okay, now let me just open a blank screen. If you pasted that into an email and sent it to someone who asked for a list of anything that's got maths in it, okay, it's going to give you a dirty, great big URL. You don't need to concern yourself with it. Just send it to them, because when they hit the enter key or click on that, this is what's going to happen for them. It's going to bring up a search of all the maths resources as at the instant of them clicking on it. So you might have sent it to them in January, but it's now August. And they click on it in January, they'll get a page of resources. They click on it in February, it'll be different because what's new will now appear. They clicked on it in August and you've done a purge of some of your collection, added more resources into your collection, or there's more activity on certain books in your collection on maths. It will be higher up the scale. So it's always going to give you a relevancy search as at the instant of clicking on it. Okay. Now, when you click on a title, there it is. You can have a look at more information and you can then go and click on any other button there and like subjects, and it'll do an inverted search of maths in the subjects. Or I wanted something on that particular illustrator or that author. Click on that author. There's only one book on that author. You go, what's that G about? Well, that's interesting. Just click on it. Every time any book in the system is featured, that author is featured on Google, we will automatically put a G in there. And so you can click on it and it'll take you straight there. However, have a look at this. I'm going to do a search of cat and I go, give me a list of all resources that got cat in it. And I can go Cat Dreamer. That's the bibliography. And it's got a G against the author. Not a problem. However, if I click on Cat Haiku, okay, it'll bring up the book that's here with all those resources. And if I was logged in, it'll give me a lot more information. So I'm now going to log in. So basically, you do not need to be able to, you do not have to be logged in to be able to search the collection. And that's the advantage. So if you turn around and say, oh yeah, but I want to reserve a book. You click on reserve. You cannot get into the reservations. You cannot go into the reviews. You cannot look at the availability if you are not logged in. And the way you log in is manually. You can click sign in and then put in your username. Okay. And then put your password. However, you don't need to do that. We can single sign on with almost any kind of single sign on system you use. There almost isn't a single sign-on system that we have not found that we don't work with. So talk to your IT people, and if you want a single sign-on, so they don't have to click the sign-on button. So while they're at school, if they click on it, it'll automatically log them in, and we'll know who they are. And because we'll know who they are, they can just go to so when they get a book up, they can go to reservation and click reserve, and that'll reserve it for them. But you notice when I wasn't signed in, I didn't get the option to reserve. I didn't get the option to have a look at availability. So if I click on Cat Haiku, if I want to have a look at the availability, you can see I've got 15 of 18 items available because 3 of them are not available. Why not? Let's click on loans. That's why. And if I put my cursor in there, it'll tell me who's got that book particular out on loan. Okay. And a patron can choose to have their credentials hidden from certain people that do not have rights to look at who's got it on loan. So you can see everything on the system. But not only that, okay, when you look at the bibliographic information, the book, remember when I wasn't logged in, I didn't get that Google. Okay, if I go Cat Dreamer doesn't have that Google. What that Google label does, it says, I'm just letting you know, I found a review of this book on Google. You can go, oh, how did that happen? It's automatic. You don't have to worry. Just click on the Google review and the Google review will come up. And you can go ahead and you can read that book or read the review. Okay? So it's all automatic. It's all integrated. Just like all the covers are automatic and all integrated. Now, if you get a book where it says thumbnail coming, there's every possibility that you might have that message thumbnail coming, and it's been coming for the last 6 months. And the reason for that is that there is no thumbnail in all the authorized sites to give it to you. Or worse than that, when you go into the collection, there is no ISBN number so it can go and find a thumbnail. All the thumbnails are found based on the ISBN number. So if a book has an ISBN number, chances are 9 times out of 10, it will get you the thumbnail. But if it doesn't have one, it won't get it for you. Now, when we did a search of cat before, the videos didn't come up. But if I clicked on the video, okay, the video will come up and it'll start playing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, and because it starts playing, you can fast forward. Okay, you can go backwards.
I've been really looking forward to your
And
visit.
most important of
where you
all, I would like that video on my phone or my iPad or on my memory stick so I can take it home and watch it on my computer at home or on my TV at home. So if you'd like a copy of any video, all you need to do is click on I for information, and that's the bibliographic information about that video. Every video has a download icon. So all you need to do is click on the download icon and the video will come up here and say, where do you want me to store it? Tell it where you want to store it and just go save. And you now have a copy of that video and it's all legal. The only thing is, if it was YouTube and you can catalog YouTube items, you cannot download YouTube because it's illegal. So that's the OPAC side of things for you. Okay. The next thing we're going to deal with, very important, is all right, you're using our system, but you've got a question and you'd like some help. So when we take you on, we walk you through the bare minimum and basic. You go, oh, can someone walk me through setting overdue limits or setting borrowing limits or whatever? So if you need to communicate with us for something a little bit more sophisticated, okay, just click on the hamburger menu on the top left hand side, go down to the mailbox. Okay, and we do support like you would not believe. So all you need to do is go into the support ticket, go create a ticket, and then the subject is, I would like someone to walk me through SKIS cataloging, and unfortunately I'm only going to be available after 7:30 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. You can put that request there and say, this is my number, please call me, and then just hit that. So whatever support you want, we will bend over backwards to work with you to give you support that you want. And you might decide, I'm just going to do training on circulation. I'll put another ticket just for cataloging, put another ticket just for circulation, another ticket just for borrowing parameters, another ticket for creating overdue letters, creating email. My recommendation is don't try and absorb everything in a one hit. Create as many tickets for support that you want to cover specific individual items and have a look and see how we will bend over backwards for you. And you might turn around and say, look, I don't have time to engage in this. However, can you create a YouTube live for me? Put it on YouTube, send me the link on this topic, and we will do that for you. So that's very, very important. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is, I am new to the school. I've upgraded the system, and Joshua comes along and he wants to be able to borrow a book. How do I put on a patron? Very, very easy, very simple. You need to be logged in to do everything on the system except search. Okay, you don't need to be logged into search. But if you want to put a patron on, you just click on the menu button, you go down to patron, and you go down to patron management. When you click on patron management, it'll always bring you to the patron screen, except it'll bring up, if you're logged in as Lib, it'll bring you up as Lib. If you're logged in as Joshua or Marianne, it'll bring up your record for you. And if you want to find someone, just click on find and type in MI. I'm just going to go MI. I could have typed in MIKE. So anyone with MI comes up, and then if you choose the person you want just by clicking on them, their record comes up here. As simple as that. Okay. Now, you got login information, basic information, advanced information, TV for education information. You got a whole bunch of information in here. But I want to create a new record. So do I have to fill in all these tags? The straight answer is no. Not only that, you say, why does it go login and then basic, then advanced? I would like the login, then I want TV for education, then I want advanced, and then basic. Now, you have a settings icon here. So when you click on that settings icon, you can move anything anywhere along there, and then just hit the save when you're done. And now that's your new your new patron screen. But if you want to add a new patron, just click on new. Okay. And this is what you need to do to add a patron manually. You need to give him a barcode number. And you go, no, we can't give him a barcode because the number that we use is the admin number, and he's just come straight to the class. Admin take about 2-3 days to put him onto the system. So how can I give him a barcode? My recommendation is, why don't you put any rubbish in there? That's his barcode temporarily. Later on, you can go ahead and you can change him. Okay, so his first name is John, and his next name is Stuart. Stuartson. Okay, that's his name. His email address is John S. at. That's his email address. Security, don't worry about it. Class grade. He's a year 8 student, and homeroom. He's in that homeroom. He's a student, and I'll just go save. It says password is not set, so it'll generate a random one. Yeah, whatever. I don't need a password for him. So that's his record. Okay? And that's all you need on the system to be able to have someone borrow, because the class grade tells us what borrowing limits he has. So if I go to the borrowing limits, it picked it up from the system, and it says that's his final borrowing date and whatever, and the year 7s can borrow 100 items for 7 days, and so forth and so on. Okay, that's the loan limit. Now let's go back here. But I want John to be able to log in from home. You can, and the problem is he needs to have a password. So what you can do is you can go change his password, and his password for everybody in the school is password. And I'm going to give him validate that password, which is password, and I'll go change password. Now all of a sudden John has a barcode that he can log in with, and his password's password, except change password on next login. I go, yes, I want John's to come in, because my policy is everybody has the same password, but when they log in the first time, it's going to ask them to change their password. So how do they log in? Well, they can enter this dirty great big number here, or as soon as I get the correct number for him, which is that, I can now save it. So I can say, John, use your admin number, or John, use your email to log in. So he can use his ID or his email. How about this? Why don't we give him a third feature to log in? All in lowercase. John full stop Stewardson. So you can say that his username is, and can be anything. In my case, I'm saying it's the first name, a full stop, and a surname. So he can now log in using his admin number. He can log in using his username, because it might be a primary school. He can also log in with the email address. Okay, password is password. When he logs in, he gives himself a new name. And that's all there is to creating a new patron. However, you might decide, I want to import the patrons. It's really easy. Send in a mailbox article and we'll walk you through how to import your patrons. The first time will take you 5 minutes, but thereafter it'll take you only a minute. So you might have a policy. Every week we're going to import all our patrons from the admin system. Override whatever was in the library system, because we're never going to change these details. Why would you do it? Email addresses change, their names change, their homerooms change. So if anything changes, you want to be able to do that. If you're putting John on and he's a teacher, then of course you wouldn't give him the role of a student. You'll say, get rid of it. I'm going to add him as another role, and the role you're going to give him is he's a teacher. And what that does is, when you give him a role as a teacher, you can click on email the login, and not only will he get a welcome letter saying, hi John, you're a teacher at the school. I'm just going to give you some videos that you might want to watch, or some of the benefits you have, and all the benefits of TV for Education. And it'll put that TV for Education button on his login as well. That's what the teacher login does. Okay, so it's an amazing way to introduce your teachers to all the digital content. You know, every teacher has access to over 160,000 educational content item, multimedia content across every curriculum, every age level, and every topic. Not only that, but when you create them a teacher, the teacher can request. So let's say they search for something and they don't find it, they can request digital content for anything they need to teach, regardless of the topic. They will be able to request it. If they go to Foxtel and they go, ooh, I'd like that Foxtel program, we'll give them anything on Foxtel without any ads. We'll give them anything on free to air without any ads. So a teacher role for teachers in your school all of a sudden opens up what the library can do for all your teachers. But John's not a teacher. He's just another librarian that's going to help you in the library. So what you do say, no, he's not a teacher. His role is, and so you can go in here and you can say his role is a librarian. Now when you give him the librarian role, he'll also get TV for Education, except when he clicks on the menu, he'll get all these other buttons, which is circulation, cataloging, reports, stock take, everything. Okay, but he's not a librarian. It's just a parent that comes and helps you in the library, and they help you 2 days a week. So you just want to be able to give them circulation role. So you'll give John in there, and you'll say it works on the circulation desk. Now when you do that and you save that record, what's going to happen is he won't have all these options, but he'll have circulation, and he'll be able to manage these two. And he won't get TV for Education. That's all he'll get. He'll get circulation and search. That's it. That's enough for patrons. All right, I know how to add a patron. How do I add a catalog record? And this catalog record, I've gone to Skiss. It doesn't exist. I have to manually do it. So you click on menu, you go to catalog, you click on catalog. And if you've added a patron, found a patron, changed the patron, deleted a patron, doing the same for a catalog is exactly the same. You've got all your fields across here about the catalog screen. Okay, and not only that, but when you go into your catalog screen, okay, you can choose the area you want to work in. Okay, everything is unlimited. You can see I've got 14 subjects, but I want to go here and I want to add another subject. Okay, and it's New Mexico. That's where a subject I want to add to the system, it just gets added. If I go in here and I add another subject, okay, if it doesn't exist in the authority file, it says doesn't exist, do you want to add it? And if I went okay, it would, but I'd say no, I don't want to add rubbish into my system. Okay, so the catalog screen goes along here, and this is where you add all the information. And just like the patron record, when you're new, when you're adding a new item, just click on new. It gives you a blank screen and you fill in the information you want. There's no authors, there's no subjects, there's no series, nothing. Okay, you just fill in the information you want. Now the only difference between filling in all these information here, like have a look at the author, have a look at the subject, is the copies area. This is where you put in the barcode. That's the only field that's different. Now I've got a record in here, so let me just go and move down a bit and find another record that is not as exhaustive, because that very first record had about 28 copies. So let's have a look at the copies here. That still has too many copies in there. So yeah, here there's only one item. Now ordinarily you will not have that item in there. So when you want to add a copy to a bibliographic record, when you click on copy, all you'll get is this line here, okay, the light blue line, and a plus sign. And you can go ahead and just then zap in your barcode, okay, put in the call number if you want to, the status is available, tell the system where that book is, tell it what sublocation, if there is one, it's in the English department, and then tell it what loan type. And you can go, it's a fortnightly loan, and then say, no, it's no renewal allowed for this book. And that's it. And then you just click save. That's all there is to it. Okay. However, you can say, yeah, that's all very well and good, except this particular one, I want to be able to also put in the supplier. I want to put in the cost. I want to put in the replacement. So if you want to put in any more information than what's displayed here, easy. Just click on that down arrow and it'll expand that area, and you can put in all the other information. And if it's a laptop or the photocopier or it's a PC and you're cataloging it all, how about putting in a maintenance record for it? You can do that. If that item has been repaired, how about putting an asset record about that item? If that item has been repaired, why not put in the maintenance record of what it was repaired for? If it belongs in a kit, why not build a kit with that item? Okay, we're not going to go into all of this because those are different videos. So if you want to learn about kit management or maintenance records or asset, put in a help article. Now, all that's very well and good, but the problem is I've got this record. I'm going to take this ISBN number and just copy that. We do 90% of all our cataloging using SKIS. How do I do a SKIS catalog? Really easy. So you can go from here, you can go to catalog and go catalog. If it's just one book or maybe 2 or 3 books, just go to catalog. Okay, I'm going to leave that particular record. Now, if I want to just catalog 1 or 2 records or just half a dozen, it might be faster for you to just go new. It gives you a blank screen. Instead of filling all the information out, just go in here and zap in the ISBN number. Just zap it in and then click this button here. When you click that, it will go to SKIS, and if the records exist, it'll say it's already imported. And there it is. It's brought the record in. Any additional title? Oh, there is. Any authors? Yep, there is. Any subjects? Yep, there is. Any copies? No, there isn't. So all you do is you just go in there, put in the barcode, and yet it's available. Yes, it's going to the storeroom, and it's from the English department, and it's a monthly loan, cannot be renewed. Save. Media can't be blank. So if there is any field that the system needs before you save a record, it'll tell you, and then you can just go back and say, media can't be blank. Okay, and you'll go down here and then just choose what it is. Okay, and that's it. And by the way, anything that's not in the list, you can add it on the fly. Okay, so we don't say these are the only media type supports, or these are the only authors supported, or these are only the subjects, or these are the only locations, or these are the only borrowing terms. Everything is defined by you. Okay, now that I've got all that information, I just go save, and that's it. Okay, and there's nothing else for me to do. I can just go new and put in another record. However, I have got 27 books, so you can SKIS catalog. So you click on menu, you click on catalog, And we don't call it SCIS, we call it Global Catalog. Now the reason for that is because we get data not just from SCIS, from any other Z3950 resource as well. However, when you go in, we're assuming that your SCIS parameters are set up and your spine labels are set up. So all you need to do is put in the parameters for the holdings record, the loan period, the renewal period, the location, the sublocation. So you can put all the basic parameters in, and then what you do is you go ISBN number and then the barcode. ISBN number and then the next barcode. ISBN number and then the next barcode. And you just keep going. You don't have to wait for the system. And what will happen is the system will go and it'll check SCIS, it'll bring the books over, import them into the system, allocate the barcode into it. It'll do whatever needs to be done to make sure that the record is currently not just imported from SCIS. If you said also bring bibliographic information from Library of Congress, bring information from the state government library, you can put in all those parameters in there. Once it's all done, that's it. So you've allocated the spine label, the ISBN, you've allocated the barcode, that's it. The only thing left to do is print the spine label. And before you start, you need to tell the system what the default spine labels are. To do it, just go to that little up arrow button and go into the default spine labels and choose it. Because I've already chosen it, I'll just go print. And what the system will do is it'll just print out all your spine labels for you automatically without you doing anything. That's a 12601 label. The spine, the broad label, you put on the inside of the book, spine, the broad label. If you want to use 12601, but you might have other spine labels, so talk to us and we'll show you how to set them up. But once it's set up, that's it. But if you say, no, I'm reusing this spine label sheet and I've already used 3 of them. So you say, all right, start print, leave 3 blanks and then go generate. And what it will do, it'll start printing at the 4th label. And that's it. And that's all there is to SCIS cataloging. Really straightforward, very, very simple. Okay. If you want to circulate, menu, circulation, circulation. And the circulation screen is very good. So you enter the patron's barcode, then the item, next patron barcode, item, next patron barcode. Oh, I don't know my barcode. That's okay. Put in their first name, then item, or put in their surname, then item. You want to return books? Click on return. And you just check in all the barcodes that are coming. Someone wants to borrow, click on loans, carry on, business as usual. It's really easy. Okay. The last thing you want to do is, as a new person, I've checked out books, I've checked in books, I've done all my circulation. I would like to do an overdue list. Easy. Menu, reports, and all you do is you go to overdues by classification, and just go open, and you'll choose the class that you want. So I want the overdues for year 7s, year 8s, year 11s, and year 12s, and then just go generate. And it's going to generate reports for my year 7s, and then my year 8s, and then my year 11s, and so forth and so on. And okay, that's another way of looking at it. You can print it, you can export it, you can even email. All the reports have the facility to email. So if you want to email, this is very powerful. You put in the person's email that you want to send it to, like the teacher, and you put in the subject, please chase these up for me, and you go schedule it, and you'll say, I would like this email to be going starting on Wednesday. I would like it to go at 1 a.m. in the morning, and then just go schedule. Once you do that, what will happen is this particular teacher will get these particular reports at 1 a.m. every day. So you never have to ever print it again. And that's the way we also schedule individual emails to teachers, to students, to parents for anything that's overdue. Thank you very much for the opportunity to give you an introduction which works out about 10% of the functionality that's available to you under the Smart Suite system. It's only an introduction. If you'd like more information, or you'd like a lot more hand-holding, or you want us to individually, specifically train you or teach you on a specific topic, don't forget, that's your button to call us, and the mailbox and then go ahead and create a ticket and enjoy world-class support from Functional Solutions. Thank you.